Why you keep apologizing for everything. Some people apologize when they make a mistake. Others apologize for asking a question, for sending a message, for speaking too long, for crying, for needing help, for saying no, for being tired, for taking up space, for having feelings, for existing too loudly in a world that taught them to stay small. And if that is you, then maybe this is not just politeness. Maybe this is survival. Maybe somewhere in your life you learned that being easy to deal with was safer than being real. Maybe you learned that if you kept the peace, stayed soft, stayed agreeable, stayed quiet, stayed low maintenance, then maybe you would not be rejected, criticized, punished, or made to feel like a burden. So now, even as an adult, the word sorry comes out before you even think. Sorry for texting. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry, I know this is stupid. Sorry, I'm probably overreacting. Sorry, I talk too much. Sorry, I'm emotional. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I need a minute. Sorry, I exist in a way that might inconvenience someone else. And after a while, you do not even realize how often you are apologizing, because it has stopped being a word. It has become your position in the world, a position of shrinking, a position of softening yourself before anyone else gets the chance to do it for you, a position of trying to make sure people never feel too much of you at once. This is why constant apologizing is not always about manners. Sometimes it is about fear. Fear of conflict. Fear of rejection. Fear of being seen as difficult. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of making someone uncomfortable. Fear of being too much. Fear of not being lovable if you stop smoothing every edge of yourself. And for many people, this pattern starts early. Maybe you grew up around people whose emotions were unpredictable. Maybe you learned to read the room before you spoke. Maybe one wrong tone could start tension. Maybe your needs were treated like problems. Maybe your sadness was dismissed. Maybe your anger was not safe to express. Maybe your presence felt welcome only when it was convenient. So your body learned a quiet strategy. Stay small. Stay agreeable. Take the blame quickly. Calm the energy fast. Do not make things harder. Do not give anyone a reason to be upset with you. That strategy may have protected you once, but now it may be hurting you. Because when you apologize for everything, you slowly teach yourself that your very existence is disruptive. You start speaking like your needs are inconveniences. You start asking like you need permission to be human. You start moving through relationships already guilty, even before you have done anything wrong. And that kind of guilt is heavy. It makes you over-explain simple things. It makes you say yes when you want to say no. It makes you panic when someone is quiet. It makes you replay conversations afterward. It makes you feel responsible for how everyone feels around you. You stop living freely. You start living carefully. And there is a difference. Carefulness is not peace. Carefulness is not confidence. Carefulness is not kindness. Sometimes carefulness is just fear wearing good manners. This is why some people apologize even when they are the ones in pain. Someone hurts them, and they say sorry for bringing it up. Someone ignores them, and they say sorry for expecting too much. Someone crosses a boundary, and they say sorry for reacting. Someone makes them feel small, and they say sorry for being sensitive. And if that is your pattern, then listen carefully. You may not be apologizing because you are wrong. You may be apologizing because your nervous system thinks safety comes from self-erasure. That is deep and painful because it means the apology is not always about the moment in front of you. Sometimes it is about an old wound underneath the moment. It is about the child in you who learned that love felt safer when you were low maintenance. The child who learned that conflict meant danger. The child who learned that being easy to handle was more acceptable than being honest. The child who learned that speaking up could cost connection. So now, the adult version of you says sorry before the world even asks for it. If this is speaking to something real in you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Beyond the Mind, and share it with someone who apologizes for everything but never understood why. Because many people think they are just polite. But really, they are carrying a nervous system built around staying small. And the truth is, constant apologizing changes the way you experience life. You stop trusting yourself. You stop trusting your right to take up space. You stop trusting your emotions. You stop trusting your needs. You start feeling guilty for normal human things, needing rest, needing reassurance, needing clarity, needing boundaries, needing time, needing tenderness. You begin to feel like your life must be edited before it can be accepted. And that is not freedom. Healing begins when you start noticing the apology before it leaves your mouth. Not so you can shame yourself, but so you can understand yourself. Pause and ask, did I do something wrong, or am I just afraid? Am I being considerate, or am I abandoning myself? Is this apology honest, or is it automatic? Am I saying sorry because I mean it, or because I want to prevent discomfort? Those questions matter. Because there is a difference between accountability and self-erasure. Healthy accountability says, I made a mistake, and I want to repair it. Self-erasure says, let me blame myself quickly so nobody gets upset. Healthy accountability is grounded. Self-erasure is anxious. Healthy accountability respects both people. Self-erasure sacrifices one person to calm the other. And too often, that one person is you. The goal is not to become rude. The goal is not to stop caring. The goal is not to become hard and defensive. The goal is to stop apologizing for things that never required an apology. You do not need to apologize for asking a question. You do not need to apologize for needing time. You do not need to apologize for saying no. You do not need to apologize for having a boundary. You do not need to apologize for being emotional. You do not need to apologize for taking up space in a relationship that claims to care about you. This does not mean you will never feel the urge again. You probably will, because patterns like this live in the body. The word sorry may still rise up automatically, but healing is when you catch it and choose differently. Instead of sorry for bothering you, maybe you say, do you have a moment? Instead of sorry, this is probably stupid, maybe you say, I have a question. Instead of sorry, I'm too much, maybe you say, this matters to me. Instead of sorry for being emotional, maybe you say, I'm feeling a lot right now. That shift may sound small, but it is not small. It is the beginning of teaching your body that honesty is safer than disappearing. And at first, that may feel uncomfortable, because your body may still believe that being direct will create rejection, that having needs will make you difficult, that speaking clearly will make you unlovable. But every time you stop apologizing for being human, you send yourself a new message. I am allowed to exist without shrinking. I am allowed to need without guilt. I am allowed to speak without softening every truth. I am allowed to take up space without asking forgiveness for it. That is powerful, because the deepest healing is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply this: no longer saying sorry for things that do not make you wrong. So if you keep apologizing for everything, be gentle with yourself. There may be a younger version of you still trying to survive through niceness, softness, and self-blame. That part of you does not need criticism. It needs safety. It needs permission. It needs a new experience of love, one where you are not only welcome when you are easy, because real love does not require you to disappear to deserve it. And one day, if you keep healing, you will notice something beautiful. You will ask for what you need without apologizing first. You will say no without feeling guilty for hours. You will speak honestly without editing yourself into something smaller. You will stop treating your existence like an inconvenience. And that is when you will realize you were never too much. You were just taught to apologize for being real. And if this made sense to you, don't lose it in your feed. Like the video, share it with someone on this path, and subscribe so you stay connected to every new talk on Beyond the Mind.